just like a rose. If you don't water it every morning, it will go away and die. I promise I will love ya, keep his commandments, humble myself and live. I promise I will love ya, keep his commandments, humble myself and live. And live eternity. And live Jah to eternity. For it was our day. Oh yeah. Man should serve no other one but Jah. And Jah alone. I'm very sure. Oh yeah. I could never love no other one. Verily, I love Jah. I promise I will love Jah, keep his commandments, humble myself and live. I promise I will love Jah, keep his commandments, humble myself and live. Exodus 27. Thou shalt not make unto thyself no bed of silver nor of gold, and serve unto thy great God as I. How can I leave Jah? How could I possibly go on? Georgia identity. Promise I will love Jah, keep his commandments, humble myself and live. Yeah. Promise I will love Jah, keep his commandments, humble myself and live. To eternity. Yeah.
Politics. Please don't forget, I'm just practicing to be a poet. Not qualified as yet, but have no fear. I'm gonna get there. I'm not in this world to live up to your expectation. Now I are you in to live up to mine? I don't owe no one, no obligation. No one owes me none, so everything is fine, fine. I said I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. I am that I am, I am, I am, I am. Serious business. There is a time for everything, and for everything there is a season. So man and man must reason. So I think it's prime time that we address some more issues. Simple information I will.
And a good night to Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points.
Show everything.
My name is Sheldon Scott. I'll be here with you up until the 10 o'clock hour.
Promise.
I was saying a special good night to each and every one of you. Hope that you're having a fabulous night tonight. All listeners out there in Texas, those of you in North Carolina, our California, Arizona listeners,
And I ask,
those of you in Maryland, Washington, D.C.,
it sounded so good to be.
Virginia, Long Island, well, New York.
So we voted.
Brooklyn is in the house.
Campaign promises we would say it
Matthew Boyne, what's up with you, bro?
is. We've waited
Claude Abraham, Alban Harris,
to
huh?
strain, but you now refrain.
Kathy Albert,
Refrain.
nurse practitioner, Wendy Ann Maguire.
Cell phone ring, man answering. Yellow, yellow, no hello. Teeth get yellow, house get yellow, bus get yellow, man get yellow, even green get yellow, and so says 11-4. When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. Old school parables say you know what you have, but you don't know what you go get. So cherish what you have to diminish regret. But one
And indeed, we say a special good night to all the listeners joining us via the YouTube.
Jehovah.
Remember to like and share. Let me see this thing go up to over 200 tonight. Yeah, let me get it over 200.
Aye.
Hit the like button.
I sing one.
And those of you on the Facebook, hit the like and then hit the share button. Make sure that you like and share.
When you trick us with campaign promises, we won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. They began with the blame game, giving NNP more fame. Past administration, the cause of frustration. Past
New Jersey, good night.
administration, chief of
Let
corruption.
me say good night to you, cousin Ira.
Recession, economic recession, we can't give you attention. Economic recession,
Gemlin, good night to you.
poverty in the land.
Make sure and tell Auntie Sylvia said good night.
Recession, no employment.
She might be taking a little rest now. Uncle Bar, good night.
When you trick us with campaign,
Auntie Doreen, good night.
that's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. All your
Cousin Margaret, good night to you.
But when asked, how is the country going? Oh, fine, fine, fine. We are looking into it. We are looking into it. Never mind, never mind. Only projects in pipeline. No water to cool down the yellow temp.
Let me see all the folks here on Facebook. Good night to you. I see Ingrid, Wallan, Wendy, John, Cicely, Errol, Cynthia, Laslin, Gillian, Devon, Peter, Landon, Tegwa, Lynn, Nicole, Sherms, Olive, Betty Ann, and I see Etta, Joan, McLean, Gillian, Winnie, Laslin, and Norman.
Won't stay at ease. That's
So I'm saying a special good night to each and every one of you. I hope that you all are having a fabulous night tonight, yeah?
now refrain. You now refrain. Busy governing, busy managing, busy politicking, busy neglecting, busy inflicting poverty and hunger throughout Grenada. 1,000 Frenchmen can never be wrong, but you hold your yellow conviction strong, strong, strong. So why not send them advisors home? They're sucking money like water in foam. And rehire the Imanis, less stress on the economy.
Yeah, got quite a bit to speak about tonight, yeah?
You didn't see us down by the brewery when this
So we ain't sticking for much longer, yeah? Come on. Let me see y'all hit the magic number. You know, I always have a magic number in my head. I don't say it on air. But when I reach that magic number, we start the thing, eh?
Strain, but you now refrain. You now refrain. So we've heard about your internal division, but some can't digest that one. Remember the man say he's an asset to the party? And will we vote you without him? You left him with Glenn alone. Maybe they cloned. And however, I foresee a pretensive unity that will mislead a lot just before the next ballot. But you guys will have to come.
I expect to get some calls tonight. Let me see if I find the first one, yeah?
You think politicians would trick us with campaign promises? We won't stay at ease. That's the way it is. We've waited in vain, hoping you'll ease the strain. But you now refrain. You now refrain. You remember in the Bible, God had a plan for Jonah to restore Nineveh. But who will restore Grenada? Is it the same Jonah? Lots of doubt, so I'm running up my mouth. And I'm counting no chicken before the hatch. Politicians sometimes farm a crook.
You all realize that we less than a month away from Christmas, right? Yeah.
Note, but here comes
It's the 27th, huh? Yes, so we're less than a month away from Christmas.
car on the scene, while our hungry belly's still grumbling. And you trick us with campaign promises. We won't stay
So it is coming up, yeah?
the way it is.
You know, since the Christmas coming up, and
Hoping you'll ease the strain.
let me play a little reminder thing. This Christmas that coming up, yeah?
Promise one public service. Yep.
Yeah, I ain't see I hit the magic number yet. I'm waiting to hit it.
Going home.
Come on, call your friends, call your family. Time to join up.
Take Susu in you. I don't believe in superstition. Something wrong with that transformation. From the 10 them boys drink the water. Strange thing happening in Grenada. 3 houses born in Victoria. 2 born in St. David soon after. David Anderson and his brother. We had suicide and murder. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They wrong to drink the water. The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. Mathematic.
Yeah, and I see the constituents of St. Patrick West. They're asking where is their MP. They're wondering if they have an MP. All sorts of nonsense taking place, people being treated.
If you don't support their agenda, they treat you like fish out
So
of
they're asking if they've got an MP, yeah?
the transformation.
They're not even sure if they have a member of parliament.
Drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They wrong to drink the water.
So the residents of St. Patrick West, they've been messaging and they've been asking not only if they have an MP, you know, but where, if they have an MP, where the MP is.
Every time I put on my TV, see me.
So I'll have my good friend on with me in a little while.
The whole government photogenic. If they go to the bathroom to pee, posting it up for the world to see. Taking out pictures like circus clown, on the balling, boots on the ground. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, like they put a spell on Grenada. They wrong to drink the water. The transformation water.
And no, it is not transformation water I'm drinking. I'm drinking tea, yeah? Make it with Nawasa water.
They say that fella never sleepy, yeah. Drink the water too and he get glad. Then he take a rake in Carriacou and he start to rake up them people. Brian and Daisy say the man don't care. He transfer a woman to the play. They say how she wear a green jersey, so get rid of all those NNP. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water. From the time they drink the water,
Yeah, see, we hit the magic number there, huh?
they wrong to drink the water. The transformation water. From the time they drink the water, they start to reverse Grenada. If you sit at the report in Grenville, what does work and bump like a square reel? Tell these malas cannot understand. How come me don't get a position? Philip is chairman and Nawasa. Glenn is ambassador to Cuba. Keto is the new house speaker. They should make you Facebook minister. Who tell them drink the water? The transformation water.
Folks, also the residents of St. Patrick. Let me see if I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yeah. The residents of St. Let me see. That's it. Yeah, that's up in St. Patrick, right? So that's St. Patrick East, though. They're asking for immediate action. Residents of Bathway and affected commuters unite to demand road repairs. The residents of Bathway, along with motorists and community members who frequently travel on the Bathway Road from Riversally or Rose Hill, are calling for urgent action regarding the out-of-control potholes that have plagued our roads for far too long. We invite everyone affected to join us in protest tomorrow, Thursday at 2 p.m. at Bathway Beach near Michelle's Place. This is an opportunity to raise our voices against the neglect of our critical road infrastructure and demand immediate attention to this worsening issue. To make this process impactful, signs and decorations, paints, pens, and shoe polish available for anyone interested in creating signs or decking out their vehicles to amplify our message. Community spirit. Come early, bring your neighbors, and let's stand together in solidarity for the safety and well-being of all who use this road. Let's make a strong statement for the change we need. The deteriorating conditions of our roads affects us all. Our safety, our vehicles, and our community's connectivity. We look forward to seeing you there as we advocate for better roads and a brighter future for Bathway. And of course, it comes from the concerned citizens of Bathway. They are complaining of a road situation. I know many of you saw it on Jenny's program last week. Yeah, you all saw it. I realized they're serious about things. Yeah, the residents of Bathway say fix the pothole. Fix them pothole. Yeah, so the residents of Bathway are demanding that they fix. You want to see it again? Yeah, that's how they question. Well, a lot of other residents in other areas can do the same thing. Yeah. A lot of other residents in other areas can do the same thing. So the residents of Bathway, they are asking that the potholes, in fact, some of those things I see they die. Look at pothole them. Some of them things I see they had they in Bathway. Papa, yo. Some of the stuff I see there. You know? Let me see if I can just show you a little bit of it. Yeah, let me see if I can show you a little bit of it. Of what they call in roads in that area. Yeah, that's what they're calling roads in that particular area. And they're asking for immediate action to address what is taking place there. Yeah, so they've got a serious, and who feels it knows it, eh? You could stay down in St. George and say that's how it doesn't affect you. Yeah? You can say that you... So this one goes directly to the Minister of Infrastructure, who in this instance happened to be the co-pilot to them airline and them, the Prime Minister. Yeah? Because the Prime, that is state of the roads up there. And the Minister of Finance, the man who controlling the money, that is in his constituency. And he was the Minister of Infrastructure before the Prime Minister. So there's the state of the roads up there in St. Patrick East, in particular in the Bathway area. I know many of you would have seen it on Jenny Simon's program. Yeah, Auntie Jenny, I know if they're still flying drone around your place. You go tell us. Tell us if they're still flying them drone and them around your place. Yeah. So, this is the state of the roads up there. When you hear people calling radio programs and saying this is the best they've ever seen the roads. Here in Grenada, it's the best that they, I don't know who these people are, I don't know what kind of tea they're drinking. I drinking a little lemongrass. I don't know what I'm drinking. Yeah, but they're saying that's the best they've ever seen the roads. Yeah, that's the best they ever see the roads in Grenada. You understand? The Americans bombed areas and it was still looking smoother than that. So the residents of Bathway and surrounding communities, as well as other folks who utilize that road. It's not just the residents. Yeah, some of the tour guides, when they're going up on that side to Lavera, and so they utilize those roads. Yeah, people heading to the beach, the bus drivers. So there are various people who are utilizing that, well, we have to call it so-called road. We can't say, Papa, you. Them people up there going through it, boy. What? Yeah, boy. What? No. It has some parts of war-torn Haiti that the road looking better than what that looking like right now. Yeah. You have to upkeep. At least if you patch and you patch properly and you do the drainage properly, instead of cutting back on the number of gangs that were put out between 2013 and 2022, instead of cutting back on the number of gangs in the constituencies, reducing it to nearly nothing, and then not sending them to do the jobs like ensure that the drains and so in those areas are clear, the overhanging are trimmed, because the drip when the rain falls from the overhanging damages the road, in case a lot of you don't realize. The drip, when it's having the drip from the overhanging, it will damage the road in many instances. Yeah? It will damage the road in many instances. So this is a direct call to the Minister of Infrastructure, and Works, the Prime Minister of Grenada, Mr. Deacon Amiss Mitchell. This is a direct message to you, sir. The people in Bathway want to see you. So I don't know if you want to go up there tomorrow and join the protest against yourself, because you could do that too, Yeah, you could go and join the protest against yourself. Yeah, tell yourself, boy, I need to fix that road in Chutano. Join the protest, Mr. Prime Minister. Yeah, you are the Minister of Works. And let me tell you guys what they're going to do. I was back and forth between St. George, the town today, and Grand Dance. And there are some significant potholes that have been forming, especially since the rains. Because if you don't clean the drains properly and the water flows over the road in certain areas, you tend to find potholes that you didn't see just the day before. And it's like somebody passed with a jackhammer and dig up the area, you see a pothole the next day. This administration is waiting until the month of December start good and proper. Until around the second week of December. Now we're talking, they might try and bump it to the first week. But let me warn you what they're going to do. They're going to wait until the second week and the week of Christmas to go down in Grenada and play the fixing road. You know why they're going to do it then? They're going to be patching the road in that time for when you have the build-up of traffic. They say, you ain't see economic activity. Look at vehicles going and coming out of Grenada. That's not economic activity. That's people going about their normal business. But because you're sending the patching teams in the middle of the day to go and patch those holes in the road at that point in time to give an impression that there's economic activity, massive economic activity. It's taking people over an hour to get into the south of the island, and they're boasting about that, you know. When they sit down in different places, they're boasting about that. Look at economic activity. We have one pile of people heading down into the south of the island. That is the sort of thing that they're planning. So now people who want to go and do business in the south of the island, unless you really have to go, or unless, like me, you live in the south of the island, you're going to avoid going down. Because you're going to find yourself in traffic jam for an hour, hour and a half, all sort of nonsense, because they're choosing at the high traffic times, and especially when they know, that is when they're asking the people to go and patch it, when they know it are multiple big flights coming in, to try and bamboozle those of you that are out there in our beloved Grenadian diaspora. They are trying their very best to bamboozle you all. So when you all come and you see teams of people patching road and things, like, yeah boy, that government working. Yeah, but consider what people been going through for the last month before you arrived. And they've done it before. And from what I'm picking up, it is the intention again. Why they don't have teams out now doing those patching? This administration, in the supplemental budget, received at least $15 million. $15 million to do patching. Yeah, to do asphalt works. So that is to pave over totally a whole area, dig it up and pave over, or to patch the potholes and try to smoothen out an area. This administration, in August, received $15 million to do that. $15 million that has to be spent between August and December 31st. Yeah, let me repeat that. In the supplemental budget, there's an allocation of $15 million for asphalt works. That is to do the work between all different parts of the country, wherever asphalt work has to take place. So we're not just speaking about Molyneux. That 15 million is to cover a lot of things. And it has to cover where you have patching to do and that sort of thing. $15 million and the people that are doing the patching just can't get the money. It's money that's approved. That is money that day. It's been approved. But you have people that are doing the patching on the road. Yeah? And 2 and 3 months that to be waiting for salary. I want to say that. Sometime they get in April salary, somewhere down in July. I kid you not. And that is a constant situation that is going on with these folks. And folks, I told you I'm going to have a caller calling in. Let me just get them onto the line. Good evening to you, sir.
Hey, good night. Good night.
Senator,
Pleasant good night to your listeners.
Senator, the Honorable Nolan Sebastian Cox.
Well, look at that. You see, I even don't know his second name. You see that?
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah. Man, I'm good. I'm doing okay. You know?
All right, man.
Yeah.
Well, I heard you were making some trip today, man.
Yeah, I had the fortunate opportunity to be in Pity Martinique today. You know?
Lovely,
just
lovely.
yeah. Well, I had some persons that I had to see, family members to check on, and more so to get a sense as to, you know, how people are coping with the recovery process and what is taking place, and some of the challenges that they have been experiencing. As you know, Pity Martinique do have some limitations that is unique to Pity Martinique, and of course it requires more effort to get support out there to them. So it's always there's always a feeling that because of your size, it's easy for you to get left behind. You know, so I just wanted to make sure. I think, you know, as a responsible opposition, you know, we have to do what we can to echo the voices of persons who have challenges sometimes. Coming from where we sit at the Parliament gives an opportunity for the voices of government to respond, you know, to hear what we have to say and to approach it, you know, in a most appropriate way. Sometimes things are missing that government can't pick up everything. Sometimes they miss it. And so as a responsible opposition, I think we have an opportunity to bring certain awareness to issues. And so Pity Martinique, as I say, is unique in its own way as to how they live and some of the challenges that they have. Some of it is chronic. Some of it has gotten worse because of the hurricane, of course. Yeah. So, well, you know, we spoke when last time I was on. We spoke about the whole issue of housing, and housing continues to be a major issue for residents both in Carriacou and Pity Martinique. But I was really, acutely disappointed to find out. Not a single house, you know, response from government has been started on Pity Martinique as yet. I know that there were reports or mentions of intention to do one of the Build Back Better houses there, but I think it was a lost opportunity for the government to at least between 3 to 5 of the 27 prefab houses an opportunity to have 1 or 2 of those erected, or even more, you know, in Pity Martinique.
Hold up. I just want people to make sure that people heard what you said and they understand. So you're saying that none of these prefabs are being erected at this time in Pity Martinique? None of the 27?
No, I think all of the prefabs have been installed, and there was a handover ceremony I learned yesterday by the donor agency. It's part of the requirements. A lot of people don't understand. So when you have your NGO and you receive donor funds to do certain things, there is a particular process. So it was a requirement for they themselves to actually hand over the keys to the recipients of the houses. to complete that donation process, and not leave it to government to hand over. So government was there. I think the Prime Minister was up for that event, but it was a requirement for the donor agency to actually do the handover, not the selection process that has been done by of course government, but the actual handover, the keys and the names of the persons to say in their report, these are the list of persons who were recipients, and we have evidence to show that we actually handed the keys to those persons. So that was done yesterday. Yes. So that took place yesterday, and I think all the houses were built and installed in Carriacou. So and the reason why I say that,
but Senator, this disgusting, But you go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
To go a little further, so I there's an attempt by the government to establish a new housing lot, a new housing development or settlement in Dumfries. I think that, and seeing that the government also indicate plans to purchase, I think they said purchase 200 houses, prefab houses. You could have done that thereafter in that area, because you have, I can't remember how much houses that they have erected in Dumfries.
I know the figure is supposed to be 27. I'm not sure if all have been done.
No. The total houses that were issued were 27. Yeah, some have been erected on some person's private lots that I know. I think there are 2 or 3 in my village area, Dover, not Wynwood, but Dover. None in the Wynwood area, but 2 or 3. I think 3 in Dover, 3 or 4 in Dover area, but none in Wynwood. And by installing those in Dumfries, and I'll tell you why I think that they could have done that with the ones that they were looking to purchase, because there are some amenities that are not there in Dumfries currently. So the houses have been handed over. There is no electricity in that area where the houses are currently. There's basically no electricity. So poles have to be planted, wire have to run to that area to bring electricity to that area to power those houses. I am saying that because you had to do that. Yes, you had a plan to develop the area for housing. Fine, that's fine. But because those amenities are not there as yet, you could have put those houses in other areas where persons have actually lost their houses. And Pity Matnick could have benefited from that as well. So I am saying that it's a missed opportunity for at least 3 to 5 people from Pity Matnick should have a nice little shelter house instead of being under the tents waiting currently as they are. So I just think it was a lost opportunity to do that, because down in the Dumfries area, that could have been for going forward, because there is no electricity there. So it's a totally new area.
Someone was asking the other night when you were on, but I had missed the question until afterwards. They were asking about the bathroom and toilet facilities with the prefab houses.
If prefab houses, they come equipped with that. They have this they come with a septic tank and sockaway system. The plastic tanks. That will be submerged. You have to dig a hole and submerge them. So
wouldn't it have made more sense though to put a central sewage system in place for that area, especially since you're up on the hill and you would have had down anyway? I know engineering. I just know a little bit of
historically. Historically, Carriacou, we operate with individual washroom systems. So I think that is something that they can look at going forward. Yeah, so that's a forward thinking. But I guess I'm much in the context of where we are in terms of emergency and getting persons in the housing. There, that is what is there. So the houses came fully furnished with everything, and so it's just to put in those sockaway, the septic tank and sockaway systems, so the person can actually start using the houses as they are intended.
So they have not been installed yet.
Some of them have been installed. I probably not all, but some of them have been installed. Yes. Some of them have been installed.
Were those houses, to your knowledge, done with the rainwater catchment system? The rainwater
Well,
harvesting, or would it done?
Well, they will have to put tanks. Persons who have cisterns, who have received those, and they have cisterns, they can always just attach the gutter in and put, and so water can go to the cisterns, and or persons will have to use black tanks in the meantime. Yeah, they will have to do that.
Okay.
So I presume that, straight up in common sense, they would have to ensure that they allocate at least a tank or two for each of those recipients of the houses.
No, you also said that there's no electricity in that zone, and,
In the Dumfries
from
area,
the
there is
photos
no-
that we've seen there, yeah, there's no electricity poles going into that
No.
facility.
No. So I am saying that because of that, they could have waited instead of establishing that and put it in a lot of persons who have the private area, give them opportunity to benefit from that, including Pity Matnick. I don't know if there were other logistical issues with Pity Matnick, but I still think that you could have found a way to make it work so that some persons could have benefited from it. So, it's just, it feels as if Pity Matnick is really being left out. That is the feeling. And so I think it's a significant missed opportunity. Yeah, with the houses in that particular.
Any of the 3B houses being built in Pity Matnick, that's the Build Back Better, as they call them houses, the 3B. Any of those being built?
There were reports or announcement made that they were going to do one or two, but none have started as yet.
So wait.
Yeah.
So we in November, brother. They start doing one or two of these things in Carriacou. So what is the matter with Pity Matnick people that they have refused thus far to do anything for Pity Matnick people along those lines, except give some of them tent?
That I can say. I don't know. There might be good reason for it, but I don't know. I really don't know. But it's just to highlight that, and I indicated just that they felt that there's a feeling that they're the last to receive certain support and they are overlooked, and so I think it's a missed opportunity. And so apart from the houses, there's another critical issue, and that has to do with the whole issue of transportation and the whole issue of the jetty in the Windward area that was destroyed by the hurricane. So there was an announcement recently by the parliamentary rep that they're going to build a new jetty in Windward. And from my experience in terms of infrastructure work, that is going to take some time. You have to have some design. It's a significant marine work. It's a specialized work, and it's going to take time, and it will require proper design and things like that. I am saying that in the immediate, there are things that can be done to at least a temporary. The piles are there still in the Windward. So there are two options. That is before the government to create an opportunity so the boats can boat in Windward, which is a shorter distance instead of coming all the way to Hillsborough. They can put back a temporary jetty in Windward on the piles. They can do that. That's an easy fix. Or also there is an area, a boating area lower down by the Sunlight Disco, where they can just push some stuff out about another 50 feet or so, where the water is deep enough so that the passenger boat, which is the Paradox, can come and board. So those are two options that are there before the government, and they can look to see which is probably least expensive, because of course you have to be prudent in terms of how you manage the country resources, which is least expensive and can provide the opportunity for persons to come there, students and other persons who want to do business in Carriacou, instead of having to come all the way to Hillsborough. They can do that, because waiting for a new jetty will take time. It's going to take time. It's going to take resources, of course, which governments have to budget for. We don't even know when the budget is going to be. There is no definitive time for the budget to be ready.
January or maybe February.
That is what was said to us. So when that is read, by the time you have to pass, you're looking at February, March, April before probably any major spending or so. So I see a challenge in that regard. So that is something the government can look at in terms of doing something temporary to appease the people of Pidimatlik currently in terms of traversing between the shorter point, which is between Winod and of course Pidimatlik. So I just wanted to highlight that as that's one of the things that they are most concerned about and asking for some support in that regard. So shall I say this and giving the suggestions because oftentimes, people critique me for raising things and blaming me for
Well, no,
all kind of stuff.
I know by tomorrow I go hear Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and a bomb talking. So I ain't gonna hear them. Yeah,
Yeah, so I wanted to raise that as two viable options to address that issue. So that is one of the things. Even, I was very surprised. I saw the Prime Minister announce that free boat to transport the kids from Pidimatlik to Carriacou. I didn't even know how to respond to that because that was in place years ago. Under the New National Party administration, Oliver Evan Nimrod implemented free transportation, free bus for persons. So if it is going to be reinstated, which means that it was removed by this administration, so they're going to put it back. So I don't know. So that's just that is not. They shouldn't even mention that because everybody know. Parents know that is what was there before, and so I don't know what was the big thing about that. But anyhow, it is what it is. It is what it is.
It should have never been removed in the first place.
It should have never been removed. There was no reason for it to be removed. Yeah, there was no reason for it to be removed at all. And so I kind of rest my case on that. That it reminds me of the seed money. you remove it and then afterwards you come back and you want to become ready for putting it back, but it was there before. So anyhow, it's a common feature and characteristic of this administration. So no surprises there. But another critical issue that is taking place, this whole compensation for fishermen, there seem to be some discrepancies and some viable discrepancies, which the fishery division or the ministry need to look into. Persons are reporting and confirming who are registered fishing boats who received damages, who submitted their details information, their bank account details. And when calling fisheries, they are informed that the name is not on the list, so the name has been removed for whatever reason. I don't know. I just think this is a little bit untidy, and there is no reason for that to happen. And I don't want to believe that person's names have been deliberately removed because they've been perceived to be a supporter of the New National Party. I really don't want to believe that in this time of disaster where, I know the expense for fishing and fishing gear and tacklings, and it's costly. So, if persons are damaged, one person's boat is still on the waterfront, is still there. The evidence is there that the boat is damaged. So I don't know why their details and when we look at the names, there seem to be a common pattern in terms of those persons' names who've been not found, and it was there before. So I just say this from what it was. It's really disappointing. It's really disappointing.
Senator Cox, you go say it like that. I go say it like this. They're victimizing anybody that assume support NNP in Petit Martinique, and they're victimizing Petit Martinique because they did not win that polling division in the last campaign. I say it. You say it. I say
it. But it's not only people from Petit Martinique alone that is affected by that issue with the payout for the fishermen. Also persons on Carriacou as well. So is something that I really believe that persons are going through so much. There is no reason to be doing that. You don't come and say that the support is there for everybody, and when you're paying out, just lying to people and misleading people, and I mean having people lose hope in their own country. I mean it's crazy. It's crazy and very disappointed. I mean, I just wanted to highlight that and I mean, just ask them to just fix it. I mean, they're bona fide fishermen who that is their livelihood, that is their plight, their trade. I mean, don't do them that. Just I mean, don't do them that. They don't deserve that.
And the thing is, Senator Cox, they've got the information even before these people had to sign up. They've got the information for nearly all these people anyway, through some of the different programs that they have been running. So they've got information for these people that they know that these people, they are genuine fishermen. They've been plying their trade for X amount of years. It's not like Petit Martinique is Texas, Petit Martinique is a small place where you must know everybody and what everybody does do for a living and how long they've been doing it. Same goes with Carriacou. So they can't operate like they don't know that these people are genuine fisher folk and that this is their livelihood. So to do this to them is simply vindictive. And I'll say it as well. Remember that it only took 14 days for the CRIF payment that is supposed to go to these fishermen to come in.
Yeah, only 14 days. Yeah.
But like it could take 14 years for them to get the money.
Yeah. I know that they're doing income support now. So persons are signing up. I mean, I trust that they don't do the same thing with the income support. I mean, it is just so disheartening to hear, persons, the challenges. I mean, everybody's affected. I mean, there's a sea of blue tarpaulin, throughout the both islands. I mean, there is no reason to be doing this. There's no reason to be treating people that way. They need to stop this. They really need to stop this. Sheldon, I mean, I had to come back to the whole issue of the materials with my mom and something like that. I mean, if you come out and you make a statement, then I myself or somebody responds, say, look, that statement is incorrect. I'm certain that the minister would have gone back and verified whether or not materials were delivered to my mom. And by now he knows that no material of such ever was delivered to my mother. Why don't you come back out and correct it? Just come back out and say it was an error. Just say it. Why are you giving people the impression that what you said was true? And it is a blatant lie. It is a blatant lie.
And my friend,
that is the thing that is the thing that really gets me. Why, you're giving people impression as if, well, what you said, you're accurate in it. I mean, fix it. I mean, come on, you can't do that. You can't do. I mean, it happened to me now. It could happen to anybody. It can happen to anybody.
But Senator Cox, next thing you hear, I get material up there in a building house in Carriacou.
I hear all kind of stories, about Cox this and Cox that and white think and white plane. I'm not even responding to those things. Yeah, I wouldn't even respond.
They're not worthy of response. We don't bother with that.
My thing is, you go public saying that my mother received government support for materials, and that is not true. And you made it in the context of a statement that I made to say, well, look, Cox saying this, and look, your mother get material. And that is not true. And even if my mom get material, and the context I was saying, it was correct. What I was saying is accurate. So I mean, trust me, I expect him to do that. I mean, if it was his mom, if the roles are reversed, and I said something incorrect about his mom, put yourself. I want you to put yourself in my position. That's what I want him to do. Put himself in my position, I'm certain he'd have been ranting and raving. He might have come within the street with placard too. You understand?
But let me say
And so
this
I am
simply,
saying,
Senator Cox.
you have to, do the right thing, be responsible, be mature, and just say, look, it was an error. Senator Cox's mom didn't receive any material, and just close it off there.
But you see,
Because
Senator
I am going to continue to speak on this as long as I have to, until he correct it.
You see,
certainly. I sat and I thought about it today. I was just going to just like leave it, but no. My mom don't mess around. She don't think. My mom don't do nothing. My mom don't even do in the public space. And for you to say something untrue about her, I think I have a responsibility, not just as she's son, but she's first child, to make sure they fix that. Yeah, you have to fix that. No, you have to.
You're expecting behaviors from individual within whom those behaviors do not dwell. You're expecting somebody to be decent who is not. You're expecting somebody to be reasonable who has proven time and time and time again that they are not reasonable. You're expecting somebody to be truthful who has been proven on multiple occasions to be a plain, blatant liar, especially in this case. So you're expecting behaviors from an individual who, I'm not saying stop, definitely I'm not saying stop calling on him to apologize. And he had the perfect opportunity at the parliament yesterday. He could have stood up at the end of the session on personal business or whatever. He could have stood up on the end and he could have made a statement.
He could have done it on the adjournment.
Yeah, he could have done it on the adjournment at the end. So there was nothing that he could have said. He apologized. I think many people would have watched at him in a different sense had he done that. Had he come clean and said, I made a mistake, I'm sorry, loads of people would have looked at him and said, yes, we respect you a bit now. But to continue on that track, maybe he might go by Tweedledee and Tweedledum tomorrow and do it. Let's hope. Yeah, well, he has the opportunity, man. They have their thing. So he could go there, but he could go there tomorrow. Anthony Togo, tell me if he say it.
Well, I just want him to. You need to do it. You need to do it. I'm telling you, I'm gonna call on him. I'm gonna continue to call to ensure that he fix that. He had to correct that. Yeah, because I'm saying that. Put yourself in my position. If myself or anybody would have made some statement about his mom that was incorrect in that context, in that space, he wouldn't like it.
You don't play around people.
Yeah, none of us wouldn't like it.
You don't do that with people.
Not my mom. Anybody else. You could say anything about me, not my mother. No, I can't let that slide. Yeah, straight up.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
Senator Cox, we'd like to thank you because I know you just had to leave home.
And
go to our next community to be able to contact us and make that call.
Yeah.
And that shows your dedication to Talking Points. So know that Talking Points is also dedicated to you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, so I'm just learning that he was not in Parliament yesterday, but since this story has come out, he's had multiple opportunities to correct it.
He loved doing live, so he could always do a live. Yeah.
You could do a live.
He loved doing that.
The teachers in Carriacou could tell him about live.
Yeah. So, anyhow,
all right,
Sheldon, we'll be in touch. Yeah, you take care. And all the best.
Have a good night.
Yeah, good night. All right.
Yes, indeed, folks. We were speaking with Senator the Honorable Norland Cox there, and giving some insight into what is taking place in Petit Martinique. And what we've heard there, it's sad. I think it's unfortunate. It's sad. I think any person who cares would be seriously affected by what is taking place in Petit Martinique at this time and would call on the government to do better. You have the situation where they receive the prefab houses. None have been placed in Petit Martinique. And pray tell, Petit Martinique was hit extremely hard. It's not like Petit Martinique is down in St. George's when Beryl passed. Petit Martinique was right in the thing. When I went to Petit Martinique and I see what Beryl did to updates, like, my goodness. So Petit Martinique was hit exceptionally hard. I know of individuals up there, it's tent they're living in. And you got the opportunity that you could have taken some of the prefab houses. And I want to just reiterate the point that Senator Cox was just making. That instead of taking the prefab houses immediately, the 27 that you got, and you put 10 in Dumfries, 10 or how much should you put in Dumfries? The others have been built in people's, that some of those that you're building on people's own property could have been constructed in Petit Martinique. So even if you said, we're doing these for Carriacou, and you split it and you say, well, okay, we do X amount in Carriacou, we're doing X amount in Petit Martinique. If you wanted to do 10 in Petit Martinique and 17 in Carriacou, at least it would have been fair to the people of Petit Martinique. Even if you had taken 5 and doing Petit Martinique, it would have been fair to the people of Petit Martinique. But to do absolutely none, and then to compound that with the fact that the 3B houses that they have there, that none of them are presently being constructed, as far as we know, in Petit Martinique. Maybe they have one down inside some hole somewhere there being constructed that we don't know about. But as far as we know, none are being constructed on the island of Petit Martinique. Why are Petit Martinicans being treated in this manner? Why? What sin did the people of Petit Martinique commit? What sin, what offense against thee, O Lord, have they committed that you treat them as such? And I'm not speaking to the Lord God right now, talking about the person who feels is the Lord overseer. Yeah? The person who feels is the landlord for Petit Martinique. The Lord overseer. What offense have they committed to thee that you treat them as such? The fishermen. And we all know Petit Martinique's economy, the economy of Petit Martinique, is based heavily on fishing. Heavily on fishing. That's the economy of Petit Martinique you're speaking about. So if you're speaking about fishing, you're speaking Petit Martinique, then you're speaking Guave. And yes, there are other areas we know, yes, we know you have down in Tong, Woban and thing, we know that you're right. But the two main areas, Petit Martinique, Guave. Yes, we know about Marquis and so on, right, yes. But Petit Martinique, Guave. And if you are sharing out money that you received 14 days after the passage of the hurricane, you've received that money, so you have that money in your possession. It is not a situation that the government of Grenada is waiting on a transfer of funds from the CRIF to the government of Grenada. That was done in record time. In 14 days, that payout was made. Now, why is it that while other fishermen in parts of Grenada that were not that were not heavily impacted, that they are being sought out and provided with funds? Those in Carriacou, they're being provided, but that only specific ones in Carriacou and Petit Martinique are receiving. But it seems as though other people, and no one is saying that those who receive, let me make it clear. Let's make it clear. Neither Senator Cox nor myself is saying that those who receive the funds should not receive it. Let me say that again, because I want it to be very clear that we are not saying that those who receive the funds, the fishermen who receive the funds thus far, that they should not receive it. We're not saying that. We are saying that there are many needy fishermen. You all have the money. And for some reason, magical or otherwise, you all just ain't giving the people the money. We want to know what's going on with that. We have a call online.
Sheldon.
Good night, my dear. How are you?
There, boy.
All right. Go right
I
ahead.
want to say the Minister of Carriacou have to apologize for Senator Nolan Cox lying on his mother. Because I know Senator Nolan Cox's mother is down here by her another son, or was down here by her another son, Wim, in Pedmota, in St. David.
You don't have to give all the details. She down here. You don't have to give all the details, but she down here.
No, I'm giving all the details because I want him to know. Right, other people know where Senator Nolan Cox's mother was, not in Carriacou. He lied until he lied out of style.
Not was, is. Not even was, is in the present tense.
He lying too much, so he had to apologize to him.
Yes, indeed. I agree with you. 1,000,000%. All right. Thank you so very much. Yes, indeed. And folks, I just want to give you all a reminder of something because believe me, yeah, we know where we're going on Sunday, right? Nice. We know where we're going Sunday? I think I only know where we're going Sunday. Let me remind all you.
History is in the making as the new National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally, Busheshu Plain Field, on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Shashane. We will also witness a highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. NNP Marcel 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st, Busheshu Plain Field. Be there.
Yes, indeed, folks. So it is happening this Sunday. That's the new National Party 40th Anniversary Rally. Looking forward to seeing all of you there. Do not let them make you afraid. Come on out and support. All right, so we're heading to the Busheshu Playing Field this Sunday for the 40th Anniversary Rally of the new National Party. And in attendance, we will be having the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, Prime Minister of Jamaica, and former Prime Minister of St. Lucia, present Leader of the Opposition, the Honorable Alan Shashane. All right, so that is going to be taking place on Sunday, and we're looking forward to that one. All right, nice. And folks, don't forget, we have, let me see, yes, the Sip and Chat. Yeah, the Sip and Chat, that's taking place on Saturday. So let me just pull it up there so you can see. Yes, the new National Party New York chapter presents an evening of Sip and Chat. And again, that's taking place this Saturday. But no, what's saying this Saturday, Lord? Next week, Saturday, the 7th. Yeah, I saw Fila in December already. Yeah, playing Parang earlier. Right. Next week, Saturday, the 7th of December, music by DJ Small Clothes. And, of course, you know the location. 535 East 19th Street between Newkirk and Ditnos Avenue. All right. So it starts at 6 p.m. It's available. And, of course, they will be having a cash bar. We've got a call online. Hello, good night.
Sheldon, good night.
Good night, my dear. How art thou?
Not so bad. I was listening Mr. Cox tonight concerning with the fishermen, with the money and so on. Me and a fisherman was talking the day before, and he told me that every time he go upstairs to the people upstairs who have to send in the claim, come back next week, come back next week, come back next week. You have people who get the money and their account and they withdraw back from their account.
I've heard of that situation, but I haven't had anybody to confirm it. That there were fishermen, that received the CRIF payment, and then it was taken back off their account.
Yes, yes.
So they get it, and then it was reversed. Well, I'm trying to understand why was it reversed, because these are genuine fishermen who have suffered at the hands of this disaster. There is a facility in place to assist them. And instead of assisting them, you give them the money. So they may have made plans. They start to say, well, okay, I'll get this and that and the other. They may have even tried to start purchasing stuff or taken stuff and say, well, I'll go and pay for it. And you reverse the money.
Yes. Because
I've heard that.
And again, the same people, what was they in the Ministry of Fisheries, in NMP days, the same people were in NDC days. The same people who they put back there who retire and put back there to work again. You understand? It's the same people.
This is not good at all. It's not good at all.
Is that what's going on? So they got a big friends. They go tell her, money, something go pass under the counter, they go do that for you, they don't do that for you. But me and you are nothing. We eat grass. Charity friends, wicked.
And again,
that.
It took 14 days after the hurricane for them to receive that payment. And yet still up to this time, people cannot receive assistance. Well,
what you see, these people I'm upstairs, they're implementing things. No, they do like event that is like little children. And to take things and shut down with throat, but I stand up for my right. I don't care who vexes me and who don't vex me, but my right tell and 30 for me, no, I'm in the fish market. And nobody will come in and tell me so they're doing that, doing that. No, I'm not taking out nothing from them. Because all of them is big THIEF.
Well, let me say I don't know about that because I don't want nobody come and sue me and say that I allow it to be said. I am no. My dear, no. Listen to me, Listen to me. These days, all kind of lawsuit passing left, right, and center. I have no intention of being on the receiving end.
Anyway,
so I don't know about that. No, you have to pay lawyers, don't take it back. All right, I hear you.
So I have my facts, I know I get the meeting straight.
All right.
So they can't come and take things that shut down my throat. No. Who don't want to suffer the right? That is their business. Let me tell you something again, Sheldon. I can remember when Mr. Hostings came to be the manager of the fish market and he said he wanted to privatize the market. I said, no way. I said, no, the privatization. I said, when you come and privatize here, are you going the extra miles to get fish for us to come to sell, to make $1? You all money come in, how much there is, so we have to work hard for our money, tell them. I said, wait, we don't doing that, we don't want that. The next morning, my put up a plant card, and so we go in the ministry. You know what I did? They call them and tell me, come in. They call us back and say, come, we have a meeting with you all. We say, I'm having right, so and nobody come and take things. Because if it wasn't for Dr. the right humble kid Michelle, we would have had a new fish market there. He got the extra mass house to get it. So if anybody come and do us all you want to sell the market, they ain't doing nothing, Because I don't want to afraid them. Have a good night, Sheldon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so very much, my dear. All right, 4407. I just realized I don't think I've actually called the number for the night tonight. 440-7377, 347-329-3101. That's the number to call and get onto the inside. We've got a call online. Good night. Good night, caller.
Hey, good night, Sheldon. Good night, Talking Points.
How are thou, bro?
Do it fine, man. Do it fine. We're on the road to convention. We'll be in Bushes U Sunday. Hopefully, the black tie thing Saturday night. Sheldon, I've been listening to Senator Cox, and I give him all the props. Senator Cox, to me, is one of the most humblest one in the whole of the political thing I've seen for the longest while. Now, I've been following politics and involved in this politics thing since 1999. I got St. John Northeast, Kelly Roberts, come up to now, right? But I'm saying all of this to say, this is the first time I've seen such divide in political rhetoric and comments coming from a political party that is in power. Now, the NMP has been there 23 years, intermittent. That's a party missing because NEC was there in 2008, 13. So NMP, 95, 99, 2003, 2013, 18, and there goes. And that party missing. It's like NDC was not there during the destruction and NMP had to come and fix it. We have a former minister that jumped ship, like she wasn't there and she just talking, right? What I'm saying to us now, our cadre members, NMP supporters, who will be there for the convention. This convention is very important, right? We have to get our act together, do what you feel is right, look at the candidates that's going up, and vote wisely. This is not election. Election will come in 27, if probably before, but do what is right. Right? Let's keep together. Let's keep our message on point. We know what we have to do. We are custom unit. NMP is not a party that is a failure party. NMP is a party that have production, prosperity. You know what's going on. Right now they're telling you, they're watching you on camera if you go to some political meeting across the road. They are saying it openly. Right? This is not normal.
My brother.
NMP never did that.
My brother, let me tell you something. I understand what you're saying, but let me tell you my view on that. While they have special branch around, They ain't sending nobody else with no camera to take. They're saying that, and because they're using that as a scare tactic so that people will be afraid to go. The only pictures they're seeing is the pictures that we take. And when we take our pictures, we know who to show and who not to show. But they are using this talk about, oh, they send people and they have people there. They ain't send nobody there. Don't fall for that. Use your critical thinking skills a bit there. What they're doing is trying to implant the seed of fear in the mind of their listeners. They ain't send nobody in nothing. They ain't send nobody at all. What pictures we put out, they try to see who they can see in those pictures. And we know what pictures we put out and how we taking we pictures. Yeah?
Sheldon, you and I'm
Yeah, but you didn't.
Trust me.
You see, but what I'm saying is that when you make the statement after them and you don't clarify what is taking place on the mental level, like I just did, there are people who are listening tonight that may have had the intention of coming that go say, I ain't going because I'm afraid I end up on the people camera. So you have to clarify. When you make that statement, not just here but anywhere, you have to clarify that these people are in there and nobody there with no camera.
That is my point. This is my point. And I'm going further by saying if that ever happened, you can take them to task and sue them and bring them to repercussion, because that is infringing on your personal rights and freedom. And Grenada, the last time I checked, we have freedom of right to associate. You have friends you can line with, you can chill with, you can drink any way you want, you can smoke anyway, well, not illegal stuff, but you can socialize. So if these things are being branded about, and we see little snippets from like the little thing with what we saw already with in the Ministry of Youth, couple months back, remember that, right? They're trying. And when the people is propagating it, especially people that is in higher grounds, because I'm on the ground and I'm hearing it and I'm seeing it, and it's very dangerous. I'm going to say again, Mr. Prime Minister, Honorable Deacon Amos Thomas Mitchell, please tone down your pit bulls or whatever you have propagating that shit, because, pardon me my language, that's not nice. Shall I have a good night?
All right, my brother. Yeah, just to reiterate, scare tactics, they are nobody there. I telling you that. They have nobody there. Yeah, because them is a bunch of coward. They have nobody there. Right? We have all photographers that go around. Sometimes I play the role of photographer. I go around. I might take a picture of somebody. They say, boy, you know, I'm working so and so and so, so I have to be careful. Yeah? So I know that if I'm taking the pictures, I might have the picture, but I know that particular one, you don't put it up. Yeah? Or you know the angle you're taking the picture from there to guess if that is the person that they think it is. Right? So you know what you're doing. You take your pictures and think, but you take it smartly. But all of that is to create the atmosphere of fear and to try to scare people away from coming to NNP activities. What they have been seeing is a rolling tide of NNP supporters, of middle of the road people who didn't support any party but have joined the new national party and are coming out to the activities, and not just coming out, but are vocal. They're speaking out, they're saying what is happening, and they're giving their opinion in relation to it. They've seen a tide, a rolling tide of that happening. You see the zonal meetings and the energy that has. You see the different meetings and activities that the NNP has and the amount of people that is coming out. And they have decided that the only way to stop that is to make people afraid to go. That's the only way. But you know one thing, they could make people afraid, you know. There are people who, for whatever reason, may say, well, I don't want to mess with my bread. St. Lucians have a talk that they say, watch your bread. They say, St. Lucians, watch your bread. So it have people here in Grenada who does watch their bread. So they will say, well, I ain't taking the chance, you know. Yeah, I ain't taking the chance. Some people will say that. And you could understand that, but you know what? Those very same people must remember who were the people victimizing them. They must remember who was victimizing and threatening them. And when that day comes, and the day will come, the day has to come, Yeah? The day will come. You will have that opportunity inside that polling station with that ballot in your hands and a choice to make. And that choice should be very easy for you at that point in time. Between the people who are victimizing you or the people who are building Grenada. You will have that choice. Because you have some people loudmouth, all kind of things. Listen, watch. Before I go on to that, let me just play this ad here. I need to play an ad here. Yeah. I need Nurses Association does do too much for Grenada for me not to play this.
May I have your attention, please? Thank you. This is a call to order as the Grenada, Carriacou and Piedmont Nurses Association of America gets ready for its 44th Black and White Gala, Saturday, December 14, 2024, 9 p.m. to 2 in the morning, with a cocktail hour 9 to 10 p.m. It's only a donation of $140 to get you into all the action you have never experienced before, action in exquisite elegance, all at Glen Terrace, 5313 Avenue N, Brooklyn, New York. Music by No Apology. Contact Wendy at 917-602-1476 or Rahiman 646-322-8385 or Joylin 718-496-3730. It's the Grenada, Carriacou and Piedmont Nurses Association of America 44th Black and White Gala. Thank you.
Yes, indeed, folks. So that's the black and white gala, yes. And that's taking place on Saturday, December the 14th. So those of you in the New York area, you can look forward to that one. Folks, the phone lines are open. Let me say good night to Canada. I didn't say good night to my Canadian listeners. And let me make sure that I say a special good night to them. All right, whether you're in Alberta, Calgary, wherever you are, yeah, you're in Toronto, wherever you are, we say a very special Grenadian good night to each and every one of you. And we hope that you all have been having a fabulous night thus far. Now, folks, I was listening to the Parliament session. Yeah, I was listening to the Parliament session and I heard a particular MP making a statement. And I'll play the statement for you all. Let me see. Where is it? Yes. Let me play the statement for you all. You can hear what the MP is saying, what he's claiming. And you'll tell me if what he's saying is the truth.
Not just because we are on the government side and you're on the opposition side, Mr. Speaker, I mean everything that we do has to be a back and forth. We will welcome consultation with the opposition if they are willing to consult with us. And Mr. Speaker, when they get up in the House and make it seem like if we are the arrogant one, Mr. Speaker, let the record shows. Because sometimes when time passes, we tend to forget how things were. Mr. Speaker, in this moment in history, it is a time where everyone can get up and speak without any repercussions. Mr. Speaker, in that time, Mr. Speaker, let me just say something. I was scared to even enter into politics. Because I say, Andy, if you enter into politics, the victimization that will come will be so much, you have to run. If you lose, it's a good thing I win. Right? So, Mr. Speaker, sometimes, Mr. Speaker, when you say something over and over, it seems like if it's truth. And Mr. Speaker, they themselves might believe what they are saying. But Mr. Speaker, if they are honest with themselves, Mr. Speaker, they will know. All you have to do is just look back to see when they were in office, the kind of tension they had in the country. Today, Mr. Speaker, everyone can say something without repercussions and without any, backlash whatsoever. So I'm saying.
So, folks, let me just clarify some things here. Of course, the individual speaking there is speaking a pile of nonsense. In Hindi, broken Trinidadian Hindi, we call it gubar. It is processed grass that has passed through a bovine and now is excreted upon the floor. Yeah, that is what he's speaking. So the thing is this. You're speaking about victimization during the NNP time. Again, we could go down the list of people who, if NNP was vindictive, and who, if Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell was a vindictive person, and if the cabinet of the New National Party were vindictive people, would never be holding the positions that they are holding right now. Never. There are people who are permanent secretaries who sang political songs attacking Dr. Mitchell in the most derogatory, raw, and nasty way for years. Years. Decades. And what happened with them? Promoted through the public service up to the position of permanent secretary. You have another one promoted through the ranks of the Royal Grenada Police Force, even at one point in time, was the chief of security at Dr. Mitchell's detail. And the same man used to go on stage and say all kind of thing about Dr. Mitchell. So if Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell and the New National Party were vindictive, that would never have happened. And there are many other instances over the years of people who have been very, very, very critical of the New National Party and members of its leadership, and that was overlooked, and the people were given their just due when the time came. Nobody said, well, he called my name in a Calypso last year, so demote him. Or he called my name in a Calypso last year, send him on Aileron as a watchman. Nobody said anything like that. These individuals were promoted. So this nonsense about you couldn't speak. If people couldn't speak, how many people like yourself, Mr. MP for the South, and just remember, MP is a temporary title, not a permanent one. I just hope you and all the others sitting amongst you know that. Let me state that tonight, the 27th of November 2024, that the position of MP is a temporary and not a permanent position. Yes, and somebody just messaged me there, yeah. You had, for instance, the individual called Chester Humphrey. For years, back and forth battle between Dr. Mitchell, calling, saying all kind of things about Dr. What he ended up as? President of the Senate. What was the first thing Dr. Mitchell did when he got back into office? He called on the same Senator Humphrey. He called on him to come work with him. Where is the unit after the on coming into office with the 15 seats? You had the social partners that was put together, and they were people from the church, the trade union, etc., that would go and meet with the government because you had no official opposition at the time. So they would go and meet with government, and the government would say, look, we're looking to do this, we're looking to pass this legislation, we are seeking to do these things. It was not dictatorship. And you see, these people wouldn't know because they took part in nothing during those period of time. So we had the social pact. You had the social pact. And you had a situation where these people were consulted. The churches, civil society, the trade unions, all of these groupings. Is there any such thing now? Does this government speak to anybody? They just walk in parliament, they say we're doing that. And when you tell them, what, you want to do that, we understand why. But change this and change that because experience has taught us that if you do this and you do that, you're going to end up in trouble. They start telling you who the hell is you to talk. They start telling you who the hell is you to talk. You had Mr. Richard Duncan. His history with Dr. Mitchell is not a nice history. Yet still, he was the person chosen for the Fiscal Responsibility Committee to be in charge of it. You didn't take a yes man and say, well, we're sending a yes man in charge of the Fiscal Responsibility Committee. We're just going to send somebody who we know is just going to say what we want them to say and do what we want them to do. You sent somebody, you look past your past problems with the individual, and he was made the chairman of the Fiscal Responsibility Committee, the FROC. He was made the chairman of that. And that is not a person that can say, even these days, that he has a good relationship with Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell or that he has any sort of love for the New National Party. So if we were vindictive, when people like myself, when we came back into office back in 2013, and I walked into the Ministry of Youth in the position that I was in at the point in time, if people like me was vindictive, it had real people to go home same day. Same day, they don't even bother, just pick up your bag and go. It had people that would have to pick up the bag and go. But you said, listen, show your works, and by your works you will be judged. So the staff who were in the Ministry of Youth at that point in time had to show what work they had been doing over the period of time between 2008 up to 2013. And there were people that had nothing to show, especially for the last year, 6 months. There were people that were basically outside there doing all kind of thing, and their contract was simply not renewed. There are other people inside there that remained, and are there up to this day. So if you were vindictive, you'd have gone in there and say, well, okay, cleaning house. This one had to go, that one had to go, that one had to go, that one had to go. We did not take the opportunity to do that. And if you know Emlyn Selena Pierre, if you know her, you know that is not the type of person that she is. She would not have gone in there and did that sort of thing. It is not the modus operandi of the NNP to do such things. Some of them, they know, they do their stupidness, they just pick up the bag and go en Django. Some of them know, they do their stupidness, so they just pick up the bag and go. Who show up week and two after. So nobody didn't fire them. Nobody didn't fire them. If we were vindictive, we would have come in and immediately dismantled the Grenada Youth Upliftment Program and sent everybody home like they did with the Imanis back in 2008. Instead, we allowed those young people to finish their contracts. And when we started the Imani, some of them were able to transfer. Some of them got permanent jobs. Some of them were able to transfer over to the Imani program. We didn't just go there and say, go home. You had a situation in December of 2008 when nearly the entire staff of the Ministry of Youth was sent home by the former NDC administration. I know, I was there. They couldn't send me home at the time. I know, I was there. From secretary up every home. They took out Mr. Norman Gilbert at that point in time, and they stick him in a school to teach a non-existent class. Want to talk about victimization? What the hell is you to talk about what you know about victimization? To claim like people can't talk, couldn't talk under the NNP and so on. Lucky's not our next country. That is when people would not be able to talk. This is Grenada. Don't understand them. 440-7377-347-329-310. I just had to let you all hear that sort of nonsense that was being put forward by the MP for the South. And again, to give him a reminder, the title of Member of Parliament is a temporary one, eh? Right, yeah. We've got a call online. Hello, good night. Hello? Oh, I don't. Hi, caller. Good night. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. You go right ahead.
Yes. So when they're talking about victimization, they need to come good. Because in 2008, I was one of the first person under the Ministry of Carriacou and Petit Affair that they sent home. So when they want to talk about victimization, they better know what they're talking about. But I always say, I thank God they send me home because no, I'm a proud business owner. All because I didn't sit down and cry about it. I made myself somebody. Secondly, the Minister for the South, I'm not sure where he lives, Grenada, maybe in St. Patrick's, because I have never seen roads that bad as the Clarkscourt Bay Road, the road that takes you to Clarkscourt Bay Marina.
Mr. Street, you're calling that a road?
Huh?
You're still brave, you're calling that a road?
That's it. At Donkey Cart, I have an appointment there with a client on Monday. I have to call out the appointment because I can't go and break all my money from my car to get in there for $170. He doesn't want it. And this same minister that's standing in Parliament talking a bunch of garbage. He was one of the person about 2 months ago came on the Plead Your Cause program and highlighted about 12 or 13 different roads in the south of the island that he been doing. The day he spoke about it, the next day we passed there, they were pouring gravel on the road. They didn't even pour 20 feet of gravel on the road. And all where the potholes are is the same place the pothole is. I want persons to probably, if they have the spare time, go on Clark's Court Bay Road and see. This is a road that takes you to a marina. The road is so bad. Vehicles, well, I refuse for going inside there. And he talking about that he must have strength to talk, but because if Dr. Mitchell they make you take a jail, you wouldn't be there. Have a good night.
Thank you so very much, my dear. And no, I'm not telling the caller to take back that statement. And not let he take me to court. Yeah, because remember, Customs was doing an investigation, you know. Yeah, they were doing an investigation in relation to goods that were leaving the St. George port without going through the proper procedure. And names that were calling were that same MIT minister and the cabinet secretary. Ask the cabinet secretary how they end up being moved from, ask her. Ask her. Take her and put her in charge of the public service. Ask her. Yeah? Ask her. No victimization. Where Edwin Martin end up? No victimization taking place now. Where is Edwin? In fact, we don't even know who is the commissioner of police right now. We don't even know who is the commissioner of police right now. We have no idea. We don't know. Who is the commissioner of police? Anybody? Anybody? Who is Grenada's commissioner of police at this point in time? The man leave and end up, well, he just leave that one, but he end up in another country as commissioner of police. And before that, he end up at a regional appointment. Yeah? But not just him. Where is the individual who was managing the Grenada National Stadium? Where did that individual end up and how they end up there? They were removed from the Grenada National Stadium. And you have many other entities where similar behavior has taken place. We've got a caller on the line. Hello, good night.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon. Good evening, sir.
Hey, how you doing, Pass?
I'm good, man. Just a little bit under the weather with the cold, you know. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. That's okay. You know, watch me. Whenever I hear these persons talk, right? I'll call into the office that they hold honorable persons talk. You know, it really shivers me, you know, because they are talking about corruption and they are talking about lack of proper leadership and in the time of the previous administration. They're talking about the previous administration had no success plan to take this country forward to 2035. You know, I think that was a statement they made sometime in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I know Andy's dad, you know, if such thing would have happened, could turn in his grave. You know, may God, you know, bless his soul. You know, the way this gentleman, this young man has turned out to be. You know, yes, a politician, it appears that he's doing good. And everybody say, well, the only man that is doing good in the administration is Andy. You know, and we'll quickly say to them, Andy surviving due to the development or the progress made under the new National Party plan, the new National Party's plan for the way forward. That's why in the South they were able to light the Monroe plane.
But that was Senator Nolan Cox's project. That has nothing to do with Andy, except it was implemented while he's there.
But they don't
Same for
understand.
Springs. Same for
They
the
don't
other
understand.
playing fields. Nothing to do with
Yes.
Andy.
Yes. But I want them to go back and review the success plan that the new National Party's government left. What have they done with, you just mentioned the commissioner, but what have they done with Mr. Mitchell? You know, what has they done with Mr. Tafoe Pierre? What has they done with Mr. Bascom?
Well, let me ask you a question. When last have you seen the Commissioner of Police of Grenada? When last have you seen that individual?
To be honest with you, I haven't heard about him. I mean, I follow the force closely. I've never heard about him mentioned in a while. I haven't seen him. I've not even seen his vehicle. You know, I've not even seen that. You know, it's sad. It's very, very sad. And
do we have a Commissioner of Police? We ain't even sure.
The last thing I know, yes, we had one. Yeah, we had somebody acting as a commissioner. I don't think they confirmed him as the commissioner of police as was Edwin Martin. I don't think so. I think they just had appointed him as the acting commissioner of police. You know, just watch to me, just as if he's an ACP and not the commissioner. Maybe he's on vacation. You know, Mr. Connor, I guess I know they're under pressure. These people are under pressure. You could see it on the police officers that is on the street. Those that are not showing it that much are those new recruits, you know. But I want to make a point before I leave. I'm hearing persons saying that Sunday and going forward is going to be fearful and all of that. Listen, we are not to fear anything or anybody. We are guided and governed by our Constitution, right? I know Mr. Rolo has a lot of issues with the current Constitution, but we are governed by it still. You know, we're managed by the Constitution and the kind of trait and behavior of our leaders ought not to shake us, because we have a constitutional right to stand where we want to stand, to sit where we want to sit, once it is not a restricted area. There are some areas that are restricted, but once we have no restriction on them, and based on where it is too, they can stop you. You see, because we are guided by that little book, right? The revised law of Grenada, the state of Grenada. So we have to do what we have to do without fear. I mean, come on, regardless where you work, right? You just don't wear the emblems, the symbols of the party, and so forth. I don't know. I don't see the reason why, because in that time, when we were in office, man, the nurses, whoever they would be, wherever they work, you see, they're going to work with the yellow banner in their hand, and we said nothing to them whatsoever. I cannot remember hearing anybody being fired, or being ostracized, or being separated, right?
My brother, let me tell you just how Dr. there, Right Honorable Keith Mitchell is not a vindictive person. Election 2008, Philip Alexander, he ended up being a candidate for the NDC. Philip Alexander entered the ministerial complex wearing an NDC t-shirt and came to work in the Prime Minister's ministry.
Yes.
He was not fired. You know what to do? They just ask him, please go home and change your shirt and come back.
Right. Okay. Because
you think somebody could go to Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister's office right now with an NNP t-shirt and NNP band and thing on their hand and go to work right now? What do you feel will happen to them?
Boy, they're sending that home. They're throwing that person as far as the east. You know, I just don't understand, because...
And you can't tell me a lie, no, because I have pictures of him in the shirt leaving the ministerial complex. My files and them deep.
I know of nurses, I knew of nurses and even people in the public service who have, during the campaign, right? What about if NNP had won the election? Still, they would not have sent them home, because, these persons right now hold key places in the state of Grenada. Key places, hospital, other ministries, other areas, other civil areas, right? These persons are there managing the thing, right? And what we can see too is nepotism. Yeah? A lot of them bringing their family members. A lot of them, bringing in parents, godparents, Yeah, because the thing nice. The thing is nice. Right? The thing is nice.
Yes, indeed.
But listen, have a good night.
All right. Thank you so very much, Pastor. 440. You know what? Let me play something. Yeah, let me play something else. All you listen carefully, yeah? All you listen carefully. Daddy talking to all you. Listen carefully.
Whether or not we should basically have the day recognized as a holiday in Grenada and how we should be. I don't believe and I don't stand behind the idea that every holiday that we basically announce in Grenada should be a jam and wine kind of thing. And I think the moment is such that it requires that that day be a very solemn day. And I fully support all the activities that we have actually announced that these days should carry with it. I know amplified music. People should be forward to basically go into the church and to basically be expressing the solemn situation. And so
this government minister is just telling you that on that particular day, he wants to control what emotions you show on that particular day. So that one, you're supposed to go to church on that day and show your solemn emotions. Let's say him again. Because even in North Korea, well, no, in North Korea is the only place I saw that happening. Because when certain people die, you have to cry. And if you don't cry, you know what's going on with you. That's the only place I know that kind of thing happening. But here this minister, Daddy talking to you, telling you how to behave. Yeah, Daddy, tell us.
Grenada and how we should be. I don't believe and I don't stand behind the idea that every holiday that we basically announce in Grenada should be a jam and wine kind of thing. And I think the moment is such that it requires that that day be a very solemn day. And I fully support all the activities that we have actually announced that these days should carry with it. I know amplified music. People should be forward to basically go into the church and to basically be expressing the solemn situation. And so I fully support and stand behind the idea that October 19 be a holiday as announced and be recognized as is. Thank you.
Yeah, telling us how you had to feel now. So I didn't realize that it was part of government responsibility to tell you how to act on a particular day. I didn't realize that. Because in the future, if this is allowed to continue in the future, we might end up with a pastor as the Prime Minister of Grenada who might decide at carnival time he wants us to not wine and jam in the road and not play jab and that kind of thing. You cannot legislate people's emotion. You're damn fast. You're fast, you're out of order and you're out of place. What do you mean I had to be solemn on that day? Who is you to tell me how I supposed to feel? And I had to go to church? What? Watch.
It's all I need anywhere in this country. Drunk and balling out war. Drunk and balling out war. Drunk and balling out war. Drunk and balling out war.
Well, you see why sometimes Dr. Mitchell has had to walk out from the parliament and go and take a look at the breeze to come back. It ain't easy to sit down and listen to that kind of stupidness for hours, you know. It ain't easy, you know. I'm telling all you. I know from experience and I could imagine what he is going through. Considering the caliber and quality of people who have passed through the Parliament of Grenada before over the years. The quality of intellect and discussion that has taken place in Grenada's hallowed chambers of Parliament. And to have it be degraded to that. That's why I'm calling it that. That's why it degraded to now. So, Daddy telling us now. Daddy telling us. On October 19th, you ain't allowed to be happy and joyous. You're not allowed to be smiling. So, anybody who birthday on that day, sorry for all you. That do it for all you, but that's Paul's birthday on the 20th. Right? Yeah. Put it on the 20th. Right? Yeah. And here, I want they will stop sell rum on that day too. I just want to know, they will stop sell rum on that day. I just making sure. Because that is absolute nonsense. You're out of order, you're fast and disrespectful to the Grenadian people. You cannot legislate to us how we are supposed to feel on a particular day. There are already many people with the mental and emotional scars of having lived through that. Remember, the vast majority of Grenadians who are young people, they ain't lived through that. So you want to tell them that they must grow up and that on that day they must know they have to go to church. You ain't tell them go to church on Christmas Day. You ain't tell them go on New Year's Day. But go to church on October 19th. But I can't understand all you. We foot. We have a call online. Hello.
Hello, good night, Sheldon.
Good night, good night.
Sheldon.
Hey.
What? These people and them in NDC, they normal?
Normally crazy, if you ask me.
Well, if they're normal, there is no mental case in the crazy house. Trust me.
Go ahead, caller. Please don't be listening to the radio in the background. It's going to throw you off. Just talk and go ahead, yeah.
Yeah. Hello?
Yeah, no, just speak to us and please turn off the volume. The volume in the background because it's throwing you off. Yeah, you will hear yourself. You can always go back and listen to the program.
Mr. Cornwall telling people how to he want to walk his life and run other people's life. Somebody else tell him when to drink your rum and don't drink your rum.
I don't know if he does drink rum, you know. All I do now, I just play in the song.
He cannot drinking. He cannot tell people
I
what
don't
to do.
know. We don't know if he does drink rum.
Well,
I don't know
know
that. You know, I don't
yes,
know.
Nobody can tell him when to drink your rum and when to don't drink your rum. And when he go in the gambling hall.
I've heard a multiplicity of stories.
Yes. So tell him keep himself quiet. Yes, he's too out of order and disrespectful. And they want to respect them and they want to disrespect people. They're too out of order. Yeah? And another thing again to Sheldon.
Yes, ma'am.
I listened to Mr. Pierre program today. And this guy called. And he want to dictate that Dr. Kit Mitchell shouldn't say who he want to choose, not choose, but who he prefer or whatever you want to use the word as a leader. But he want to say who he wants as leader. These people and them, so they want, well, I never see that. He want to dictate, you know. So he telling Mr. Pierre who should be chosen as the leader. And Dr. Mitchell don't have no right.
My friend, mental health is very important in Grenada because it seems as though it have a lot of people that are in need of it. And you're speaking.
Say what? Don't see NDC, keep on yourself quiet now.
My friend, all right, by there. Yeah, it seems as though some people need some assistance with their mental well-being. Because I can't understand them kind of nonsense. They going to deal a bit more with Parliament tomorrow night. But I wanted you all to hear just some of what was. There's a lot more was said in Parliament yesterday. So we're going to discuss some more of that tomorrow night as well. Because I especially want to get into tomorrow night the discussion in relation to October 19th. Because the Honorable Emlyn Pierre, the Honorable Peter David, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters, Honorable Clarice Modest, none of them said that they were against October 19th being a holiday. They were simply seeking clarification on its designation as Heroes Day. Because by simply designating that day, Heroes Day, you are basically insinuating through that procedure that the people who were involved in the activities, either on one side or the other on that day, are heroes. And that's a simple concept to understand. But it's simple, so they wouldn't understand. We have a call online. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear.
The lady want to talk about Cornwall Day. She want to put you in Cowbelly Crossway.
Well, I've already cleared myself of that. I know not of what she speaks. I know not of that. I've heard rumors. I have heard rumors and I've heard talk out there. But I don't know. Oh, the lady's gone, yeah. I've heard of things. I mean, because I play my local tune and thing. I mean, I can play my local tune. But I don't know. I just walk around with an alcohol tester to test and see. Durity! And folks, I just want to remind you all again, of the activities on the weekend. Remember, we've got the black tie event and awards ceremony that's taking place this Saturday at Pier 57. And also remember, we've got the massive new National Party rally. Let me just pull that one up for you quickly. Let me just put, before I do that, let me take this call. Hello, good night. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, good night.
Night, Sheldon.
Good night, caller. You're live. Go right ahead.
Okay, Sheldon, I'm calling about a friend. Well, you know what? I can't say what I have to say now, but I'm calling about our friend house burned down this morning.
Oh, where did that take place?
On Paul's Airstrip.
On Pearl's Airstrip. Oh, one of the houses along Pearl's Airstrip there.
Yes, this morning, and the house burned down, flat. Nothing safe. A daughter, and she's about 6 kids.
But everybody was.
If we could get help for them.
Nobody was injured though. They physically they're okay, but they've lost everything.
Everything,
okay.
And you know what? Nothing come on the news.
Wow, because I had not known about that. I knew nothing. I knew a good friend of mine from that constituency was calling me this afternoon, but I was in the process of getting ready to leave home, so I had to call them back, and I forgot to do so. Maybe that's what they were calling to tell me.
Okay, yes. Okay, so
me.
I will send you some picture on that number.
What you need to do is send me the contact information. Although I'm pretty sure the MP, Honorable Kate Skeeter Lewis Peters, is already on the ball, but you'll send me a contact for the individual as well.
Okay.
Yeah, do that.
Right.
All right. Thank you so very much, my dear.
All right.
All right.
Okay, bye. Yeah.
Yes, indeed, folks. And let me just play this one for you all, because we're coming out to win numbers.
As the new National Party celebrates 40 powerful years of progress, visionary leadership, and service with a massive rally, Busheshu Plain Field on Sunday, December 1st, 5 p.m. Get inspired for the rescue mission ahead. Joining us all the way from Jamaica, the most honorable Prime Minister of Jamaica, Andrew Holness. From St. Lucia, former Prime Minister and political leader of the UWP, the Honorable Alan Shashane. We will also witness a highly anticipated address from Grenada's longest-serving Prime Minister and our political leader, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. NNP Marcel 40th Anniversary Rally, December 1st, Busheshu Plain Field. Be there.
Yes, indeed, folks. So looking forward to seeing you all there. I think what I said in Pato again, Esupawe. Is it that? Oh, you say, are you ready? Somebody, quick, message me. I think it's Esupawe or Esupawe. Oh, I can't remember it exactly, man. But Pato get kind of... All persons wishing to vend at the mega rally on Sunday must call 440-1875 before 4 p.m. on Friday. All right? So all folks who are seeking to vend at the rally, they need to contact 440-1875, and you need to do that by 4 p.m. on Friday. All right? Don't try calling on Saturday. What I will endeavor to do, similar to what I did for the bingo, I will try to get the numbers together for each of the constituencies that I would be able to share with you tomorrow night on the program. So tomorrow night, I'll try to get all the numbers of who you can contact for buses. Yeah, and we'll put it up on the Facebook page and the various pages, and so we'll send it out via WhatsApp. But we'll get a list of the contact numbers by constituency for you all to be able to contact folks in relation to buses, because folks tend to come and ask about buses at the last minute. Yeah, warning all you, do not call me on the day of the rally asking about bus. You have enough time now, and we're going to make sure and get that list of numbers out so that you all will know who to contact. In the interim, you don't even need to wait for me on that. You can call 440-1875, 440-1876 if you do not know, and that is in case you do not know how to contact the constituency lead for your area. If you don't know the constituency lead or how to contact them, when you call 440-1875, 440-1876, they will give you the information for the person to contact for your area so that you could get on the bus and head on down. All right? And folks, yeah, we quickly running out of time. Yeah, what, by 3 minutes remaining on the program for tonight? Yeah. Izzy, don't try that with me. If you could vent to Izzy, behave yourself. Let me say a special good night to my partner, Ziggy. Yeah, Ziggy, I know you're locked in and listening. So let me say a special good night to you as well, my friend. Folks, as I close tonight's program, we are seeing a creeping sort of behavior by this administration. And while it creeps in 2024, it might run like a racehorse in 2025 if we do not begin to address that behavior. It will become endemic. So we need to address that behavior that we are seeing coming out of our parliament by the government side. You all should have heard the arrogance yesterday by people that had no idea what they're speaking about. No idea. One of the first things I'm going to do tomorrow is let you hear the presentation by Dr. The Right Honorable Keith Mitchell. We'll take the time and you'll be able to go over the presentation by Dr. Mitchell because several right out, straight out lies were told in Parliament yesterday. Straight out, it was not true. And Dr. Mitchell had to come and answer those lies. He had to respond to them because what was being said was not true. And again, it was being said by people, by folks who don't know what they're talking about. They were not involved. They wasn't there. They didn't even have second-hand information. They say somebody was there, tell them. Third, fourth, and maybe 25th hand information. That is the information that they have. They have more hand than a dolly factory in China. That is how much hand they get before they have the information that they have. But they're coming and speak as though they are an authority on the revolution and an authority on what the new National Party has done between 1984 and now when it comes to those dates. These people know not of the things that they speak, and they try to give the impression that they know very well what they're saying. Folks, stay woke, understand what is going on, understand that they are running scared. Encourage your friend, encourage your family, encourage your workmates, encourage even those NDCites, because some of them need rescuing. They shame, they embarrass, because they put themselves out there, and now they're seeing the incompetence and uncaring nature of this administration. They need a home. They need a home. Encourage them to come too. We don't mind. They want to see Prime Minister Andrew Holness in the flesh? Come. We don't mind. Let them come. All right? Folks, that's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. My name is Sheldon Scott, and Talking Points family wants to be speaking to and with you, and definitely not about you. Folks, I'm playing a song here. Listen to it in its entirety. It's a wonderful one. Yeah.
So in order to maintain power evil men found to soon to come to an end. I sing, godly men who don't care that the devil takes over their kingdom, they would kneel if they feel that they could cross a deal. But woe comes quickly, man. Woe comes quickly. Yeah. Now workers want to please their employers and their bosses by victimizing their neighbor because today their party is in power. I see, but they know what they do is wrong, and it's weighing their conscience down because all men know that no man knows the hour. Man, but be not afraid, for there is your enemy. A man afraid to speak of what oppresses him, enslave himself to a man just like him. But be not afraid, for woe comes suddenly. I see, just as the longest road comes to a bend, so through the evil works of evil men found to soon to come to an end. I sing, bye-bye. I sing. In life and in the Bible, they have seen the fall of men of evil. They never learn, they believe they are in the next level. But woe comes quickly, man. Woe comes quickly. Yes, but the days are numbered, all the deeds are known. Their hate, their division, the anger, the poverty they have sown. But it's coming to harvest day, when the oppressed will have their say, when all those who